Hi, I'm Takeshi Kurosawa, a medical doctor in Japan. I'll show you the best learning method to make your dreams come true. Maybe you have wanted to make an effort, but you don't know how to do it. Thanks to my method, you won't get lost at what to do. After you finish watching all the videos, you will master the mnemonics and the learning method, so that you can get a high score at the university entrance exams and qualification exams. I repeat because this is important. You can get a high score at reading and memorizing subjects such as English, second languages, history, politics or economics, as well as science subjects such as math, physics, chemistry or biology. The learning method I invented was named rapid listening and photo imaging learning. By using a 3 times faster playable voice recorder, you can learn anything by repeatedly stimulating auditory and visual memories. This method has 3 steps. First, the understanding phase, second, the writing and painting phase, and third, the recording and rapid listening, photo imaging phase. I will explain each one in order. First step, the understanding phase. Please read a variety of books, watch videos, search the internet, learn from people who understand, take classes, and then understand what you want to learn deeply. It's important for students to be the best conditioned to understand deeply in order to memorize. I will explain how to understand what you want to learn in another video. Second step, the writing and painting phase. Summarize what you want to remember in a piece of A4 paper. Write notes in the style of dendrograms, mind mapping or infographics. We call these notes mind map notes. How to write mind map notes is also introduced in my e-book. Read my e-book or my blog for more information. The mind map notes that Tony Buzan began to do is featured in so many TV programs. Even MIT professors have come up with ideas in this way of taking notes. But for some reason, it is a method that cannot be taught at an elementary school. I think that teachers should teach students how to write mind map in compulsory education because this is the standard and fundamental method. Here are some tips for writing and painting notes. First, please emphasis on the relationship between the cause and the effect, that is what we call dualism or duality. Connect the cause and the effect with an arrow, the only duality universally rules this world. When you become obedient to duality, everything becomes crystal clear and the world will be in harmony. For more information on duality, read on my e-book or blog. Second, please combine new knowledge with existing knowledge. You can also use a game of making puns or a game of rhyming or wordplay. Let's make a rhythmic and melodic parody. It's like improvising rap or cypher in hip-hop music and making poem or lyric. It's like thinking of a laughing story, so memorizing becomes fun. Third, please draw a picture of your favorite manga characters according to your lyrics. Characters would be a Dragon Ball, Pokemon or Mickey Mouse or whatever. Let your favorite cartoon characters appear in the notebook with the lyrics. Become able to write interesting pictures that explain the lyrics. Fourth, please be sure to color important characters and images. It's a good idea to make your own color patterns in red, blue and green. Which do you think is easier, memorizing a note without color, or memorizing a note with color? If there are 100 people, all the 100 people will answer that memorizing a note with color is easier. Yes, that is correct. So why do you hesitate to paint? Because it is troublesome. That reminds me my former teacher, Master Yoshino. He is like Master Yoda from Star Wars. He used to tell me, "That's why you are no good. No, try not, do, or do not. There is no try. Just do it."
As you wish, Master. I'll paint colorfully.
Fifth, one page, one theme. Please don't stint your notes and don't write too much on one page. Take a picture of one page on your smartphone. If you can read the picture on your smartphone, that size of the character is correct. Small characters can hinder photographic recall and tend to be messy. Let's make good use of the margins. Finally, here are some examples of how to write mind map notes. Examples in chemistry, physics, and mathematics. You can see how seriously I disclose information. Please take a look. My handwriting is bad, isn't it? Even if my handwriting is messy, I became a medical doctor and passed the medical specialist examination. The next chapter is the essence of the learning method. Please pause the video and subscribe to my channel now. Third step, the recording and rapid listening and picture imaging phase. Please record what you read aloud, the contents of the notes created in the second step using the voice recorder. You might have thought, somebody was saying that kind of method and that's not brand new to me. This is just a preparation for memorizing. If optimization for memorizing is done up, you can easily memorize whatever you want by the following method. Here is my original. With your eyes slightly open, seeing the letter, not in the focus, please listen to what you recorded using voice recorder at 3 times faster and image the notes you write vividly in your head. It's like you watch photos in your brain. This is the breakthrough and the essence of the strongest study method. Here are some merits of the method. First, stimulation of the auditory cortex by rapid listening. Second, the input from the visual sense is cut off because the letters you see are unclear due to not in the focus, and the visual information is quickly restored from the auditory information. Third, listening at 3 times faster eliminates the embarrassment of listening to your own voice. If the note you write has the 5 rules I recommend, it's very easy to remember them even if you don't repeat to listen to them so many times. This method can relieve the most troublesome part of memorizing and studying. The most important thing to memorize is to practice remembering repeatedly. The passive work of just listening at 3 times faster with a voice recorder spare you a lot of burdens. Moreover, since it is only necessary to convert visual information from auditory information, there is no need to practice writing, so it is easy on the finger and the earth. That is all. After you watch this video, you only have to practice this method. There are some tips when actually doing this method. The most important thing is, never put off until tomorrow what you can do today, or, in Japanese maxim, never put off washing the dirty bathtub until tomorrow because you can do today. Please make a mind mapping note of what you have studied and learned in the class on that day, and record them. After that, please listen to them in your free time every day. For example, when you go to school while resting between studies, or before going to bed. Just listen and image where you write in your notebook, where you drew such a manga, drew a diagram, or drew a causal relationship. After you do this several times, suddenly you notice that you have photo books in your head. You can easily image photos of the notes you wrote in your head. During the test you take, look at the picture in your head and solve quizzes easily and effortlessly. You can easily get a high score for sure. If you remember everything easily, your classmates might think you're a genius, but if the classmates know this method, it seems natural. If you want to try this method, please click the Amazon link on my blog and buy a voice recorder in your own country. I recommend Olympus voice recorders. If you buy after clicking the link, you have given me about 3% of the purchase price. Even if you buy something other than a voice recorder, it will be a donation. Thanks to Amazon's free shipping and the lowest prices on the market, it's cheaper than going out and buying somewhere. Thank you for your donation and support. Well, here are some supplementary explanations. Why couldn't this rapid listening and photo imaging learning method exist until the 2010s? That's because there was no voice recorder that could play at 3 times speed. I suppose some people did the same thing with a tape recorder, but it's quite painful to listen to your own voice at the normal speed. Why is auditory memory more memorable than visual memory? You know, humans used to be monkeys. Our ancestors, monkeys, lived in the African jungle. In the rainforest, it was surrounded by big, dense trees. Moreover, our ancestors were nocturnal during the day, as they were often targeted by carnivores. That's why visual information wasn't much needed in the dark jungle, and rather, auditory information was more important. When attacked by dangerous carnivores, our ancestors perceived the danger with a squeak and only monkeys capable of fleeing survived. In other words, only monkeys with good ears survived, and their auditory abilities were older, primitive, and life-related fundamental abilities than vision. Therefore, in memory, it is easier to fix the memory by using the auditory memory. Why did I come up with this method? When I was doing the English shadowing technique, I realized that it was very easy to memorize English words and I was able to speak English. Shadowing is speaking out what you hear with a little delay. Or mimicking what they say. It's like a parrot. When I was a freshman in university I scored 840 on TOEIC and I have a Scottish friend. I grew up in a normal Japanese family environment and I was not able to say all alphabets until the 5th grade of elementary school. But now, I'm usually drinking and chatting with my Scottish friend in English. I think that why I can speak English not because of studying for the university entrance exam but because of shadowing. I was just shadowing English essays at 2 times faster. For about 30 minutes before going to bed, if you do shadowing for about 3 years, everyone can remember most of the content. I then memorized the radio soap drama scenario of Professor. Masaki Oisugi and shadowing. I memorized many kinds of English conversation texts, but after all, the text that I still remember vividly is Masaki Oisugi's text, Hopes, Love, and Dreams in New York. You can't remember English conversation without feelings. Even after 10 years, I can still remember the story because the memories of the suffering, anger, and muddy emotions of the characters, Basil, Mike, and Yoko, are collected together. My recommendation is to imitate, pretend to be a character, and imitate your voice. With empathy, you can speak like a native. By reading and memorizing Hiroshi Onishi's grammar books, anyone will be able to speak, write, read, and listen in English. However, it is important to shadow at 2 to 3 times faster speed. If you do it slowly, you will get bored. Anyway, let's get back on track. I applied my learning method of English to the exam for medical students. Then I got a good score easily in the test. I found that this method was so reliable, usable, and reasonable that anyone can use it. Therefore I introduce you this method free of charge. Because education is the only solution for various social issues like the environmental problem, global warming, poverty, the wealth gap, and the education gap. Please donate to my project and help me disclose my knowledge. That's all. This video was a brief introduction to this learning method. I already published detailed of recording tips, how to understand with duality, and how to write mind maps in my e-book and blog. If you buy my e-book, the book will be updated without extra charge forever. Here is a little more supplementary. As soon as I published this method in Japan on my blog, I have received a lot of feedback, and many people have bought Olympus voice recorders. They encouraged me to make a video on YouTube. And I'm still brushing up my learning method. When I was a high school student, I researched learning methods and summarized how I should study. Nowadays, I've recently realized that writing a blog has become more of a notebook for myself than simply a public disclosure of my knowledge and wisdom. I read my blog occasionally and reconfirmed, yes, I'm doing right. I will get a high score in the next tests. Even though I already became a medical doctor, I still study every day using the learning method in order to publish medical research papers. Here is the maxim. If you do not memorize the learning method itself, you cannot memorize anything well. That's why if you want to memorize in this way, you don't have to buy a voice recorder on Amazon. Please occasionally browse my blog or video and reread my e-book for a break while you study. Surely, the task of memorizing this learning method is more troublesome than you might think. Even for me, who invented this learning method, I sometimes forget using it and reconfirm my method on the blog even if it becomes a habit. Anyway, if you like my blog and check it occasionally, I think that it will be a reconfirmation of the learning method. And thank you for watching the video. Please make about 5 pieces of mind map notes and try to remember them all. You don't have to buy a voice recorder for just a try. You can use a recording app on your smartphone, and a free app that can play 3 times faster. Please just do it. Then, I'm sure you are amazed to find the visual and auditory memory ability that you already have, and you would think that you won't be afraid of any kind of exams. I hope that the learning method help makes your dreams come true.